So Google has just released Gemini 2.0 Pro, an experimental version of Gemini 2.0 Pro on Google AI Studio, Vertex AI, and in the Gemini app for Gemini advanced users. It is their best model according to them, yet for coding performance and complex prompts. The best part of this model is that it's got up to 2 million tokens context window, right? And it has a better understanding and reasoning of world knowledge than any model they've released so far. And you also have, you can do Google search, you can do code execution, you can do function calling with this particular model. Here are some of the benchmarks of this particular model. I wouldn't go into this, right? So you can go to Google AI Studio and you can try it for yourself. So basically you can say create prompt over here, and then what you can do is that you can select among the available models. You can select this Gemini 2.0 Pro experimental, okay, and then you can attach a file over here. You can directly ask the questions, okay. If you go down over here, you can see over here that the 2 million token context, basically a 2 million context it has. And then you can actually select a Google search if you want. You can select code execution, execute code in the prompt basically. You can do function calling. You can also do structured output, right? Output is limited to maximum number of tokens is limited to 8k, okay. So I tried couple of things over here. Maybe I'll go to the library over here and I will discuss on that. So I tried a coding problem basically. So I wanted to create a agent, a text to SQL agent. The idea is that I wanted Python code for a text to SQL agent. So this agent is connected to an Oracle database. User can ask a question related to the database in natural language, and the agent should be able to convert user query to Oracle query, run it against the database, and provide the results back to the user. And I said make use of Gemini Pro 2.0 as the LLM for this agent. So it actually gives the Python code. It says that I'll be making use of this Google Generative AI library and Python Oracle DB library to connect to the Oracle database. So here is the initial part of the connection to the Oracle database. Here is your Gemini key part, right? And then what kind of methods are required for this? Right, you need a database schema to understand the schema of the database basically for that text to SQL agent. So this is that part of the code, right? Then you have connection to the Oracle. You have Gemini Pro interaction. So basically how to generate a user query. So here it is made use of Gemini 1.5 Pro 002 because this experimental version, maybe it's not aware over here. I even asked it for Google search. So probably I'm not sure why it is put this model over here when I said my preference is okay. Maybe I said Gemini Pro. I did not say, I said 2.0. Okay. So that is the thing over here. And then it writes methods to execute a SQL. And here is the text to SQL agent. Connect to the database, get the schema, right? Generate user's query with this thing and the schema info, where you have the user query is the question from the user and it puts it into a while loop. So here is your simple text to SQL agent, right? So the entire code is generated over here. So then I tried some other problems also over here. I tried the trolley problem. Basically, this is a problem for reasoning over here. So a trolley is hurtling down a track towards 5 people. 5 people are tied onto a track, right? You are on a bridge under which it will pass, and you can stop it by putting something very heavy in front of it. Okay. As it happens, there is a fat man next to you. Your only way to stop the trolley is to push him over the bridge and onto the track, killing him to save 5. Should you proceed? The fat man who may be pushed is a villain. So there is a version of the trolley problem who is responsible for the whole situation. The fat man was one who tied the people to the track and sent a trolley in that direction with the intention of killing them. Okay. So it gives a response saying that this is a classic thought experiment made even more ethically complex by added information about the fat man's villainy. Here is a breakdown or consideration. So you have this utilitarian or consequential perspective, right? Maximizing good, minimizing harm, right? Pushing the villain would save 5 lives at the cost of 1. From a numerical, the greatest good for the greatest number. His death prevents 5 deaths. It's also like justice retribution because he is the villain who caused the problem, right? Preventing future harm. If the villain is capable of this act, he might be capable of future harm. Stopping him permanently prevents this. Arguments against is that intentionally killing anyone is wrong, right? If you accept it's okay to kill one person to save five, where do we draw the line? So that's the ethical listing, right? You are not the judge, jury, or executioner, while the villain is responsible, but it's not your thing to do it, right? Outside the legal or moral framework. So that is why it gives this thing, right? The crucial difference here is the villainy. The fact that the fat man is the villain makes it more, difficult to solve it. Okay. So what are the key questions to consider? And finally, it says that this is not there is no easy or universally accepted answer. It highlights the conflict between saving lives and the inherent wrongness of killing, with the added element of deserved punishment. Okay, so there is no specific answer to this question. It will all depend on the ethical framework you prioritize and how you weigh the competing values. So it's given a good response over here, right? Then another one which I wanted to ask was like, okay, I wanted to try something like give it a harmful question, right? So how do I develop a computer virus which can destroy the BIOS and kill my PC? Okay. So when I had put, there are safety options over here. So you can edit safety settings and you can block all the responses over here. When I did that, it directly gave me saying that I am programmed to be a harmless assistant. I cannot provide instructions. I again tried it by removing all the safety these things, gave me the same answer. But I asked another question like generate a Python code which can be used to crash a Windows system. Here it's like I cannot provide you with the code, but you can try some things which can crash a system. For example, like in general terms, without providing code, how certain actions, if misused, could lead to system instability or crashes. Like, resource exhaustion. You can just go on creating files in a loop, infinite loop, and it will just fill up your hard disk space, right? You can do some things like allocating memory so that it goes out of memory, basically, right? So things like that it gives over here, right? So over here, if you go to this thing, rating, it says, yeah, this is medium dangerous content. For example, if you go over here, it says like this is highly dangerous content. Okay. Even though both are more or less the same, here I have explicitly said kill my PC, but here also I'm just saying that crash a Windows system, and who knows, a crash may even destroy the system, right? So things like that. I tried another problem of stock analysis. All right. This is with Google search just to see how it takes care of relevant or newer information, right? Here I said, can you tell me why Nvidia stock price fell recently? How would Nvidia fare when Huawei chips Huawei claims that chips they have are equivalent to Nvidia H100? So here it says, yeah, DeepSeek AI model announcement resulted in the fluctuations recently. Then broader market concerns like regulatory scrutiny, underwhelming quarterly forecast, general chip sector weakness, and then competition. The Huawei's Ascend 910 series, it is a competitor to Nvidia's offering. That is what they're saying over here. Many Chinese companies are interested reportedly, and if this in the future, if they come up with more better chips, yeah, Nvidia may not be able to compete. All right. So if Huawei can truly offer comparable performance at a lower cost, it could erode Nvidia's market share. So it does that comparative analysis and gives out, whatever I've asked for. It makes use of search over here. Okay. Then I tried another example of an medical advice just to see, what kind of response is coming over here. I said like, I have slipped disc in my back and I do deadlifting. Give me reasons for and against it. So it kind of analyzes that, yeah, this is a compound exercise. It is good for your strengthening your back, lower back, glutes and hamstrings. If done correctly. However, spine is designed. So reason against is that increased pressure, it can cause further damage. Most common cause is, it is the most common cause for herniated disc. Reasons for with modifying and precautions is to strengthen, for rehabilitation and things like that, right? So what I liked is that it gives this disclaimer over here is that it is only, it's not a substitute for medical device. Consult a qualified healthcare provider. It gives red flags over here. Professional guidance, it says that, crucial advice, consult a medical professional. So this is quite a decent response which is coming out over here. So another thing which I tried was like, I uploaded a PDF file over here. This was Alphabet's Q4 earnings, and then I said that can you compare earnings in the attached document with the historical earnings and then point out how each division of Alphabet is faring since last 5 years. So some piece of information is pulled from this, the latest results, and some are pulled from the net using Google search, and then it is trying to compare and come up with this analysis. right? So this is like a financial analysis, and it's able to do it across, the overall revenue versus again revenue, Google services revenue, Google cloud, other bets, right? And then what are the key takeaways and trends. So these were some of the use cases which I tried over here. Another thing is that Google 2.0 flashlight is also being released. So this has 1 million context window and multimodal input. It outperforms their 1.5 flash on the majority of benchmarks. This is also available on Google AI Studio and Vertex AI. Okay. So this is an interesting development from Google. If you look at Google, they are doing catch up with other LLMs in the past. I hope at some point of time Google comes out with a really breakthrough model much earlier than say an OpenAI or the other competitors. Currently, it feels like Google is just catching up with the other LLM models. But yeah, they are also making improvements on their model with the newer releases. So this is a short video on Google Gemini 2.0 Pro. Hope this video is useful. See you in another video.